There was a time when Russian boxer Sergey "Crusher" Kovalev was the most fearsome light heavyweight on the planet. He won his first belt 4 years after turning pro, stopping WBO champ Nathan Cleverly in 4 rounds. But it was his next title fight that established him as the divisional bogeyman. Crusher was 26-0 when he met the living legend and WBA and IBF title holder Bernard Hopkins for a unification bout. Kovalev's lack of respect for the icon was clear and continued through 12 rounds of absolute domination. Hopkins was overwhelmed by his younger opponent, losing the fight in a shutout plus, with 2 scores of 120-107 and 120-106. With 3 belts now in hand, the undisputed title was only 1 fight away. But the final belt's holder, Adonis Stevenson, was less than keen on the matchup, to the point where Kovalev began referring to him as Adonis' chicken son. So instead, he booked a bout with undefeated former super middleweight champ Andre Ward. While there were no new titles at stake for the Russian, the winner would be certain of taking the coveted #1 pound-for-pound ranking.
I never got attention for pound, you know, like who is the best, but when this fight got a status of #1 pound-for-pound, it's, I got new motivation, you know. It's very interesting. I have a new goal, and it makes a reason to kick his ass.
Kovalev brought the fight to Ward, dominating early and dropping the American in the second. But Ward finished stronger to take a narrow and highly controversial decision.
I also want to say, I want to apologize to my fans for my performance in the last fight. But I think a rematch will square everything away. And we will see who is the best fighter.
The rematch proved that the best fighter was Andre Ward, who stopped Kovalev in the 8th before retiring undefeated and vacating the belts he had just defended. With the first 2 losses on his record, Kovalev almost walked away. Instead, he was able to reclaim one of his belts in his next fight before running into a storm 2 fights later. Undefeated Colombian Elider "Storm" Alvarez dropped the champ 3 times in the 7th, taking the fight and Kovalev's belt via TKO. But this time around, Kovalev made the rematch count. He jabbed the Colombian up, beating him convincingly in a unanimous decision. From 1 fight away from undisputed status, Sergey is now 3. And at 35, he is running out of time. But his last fight proved that while he may no longer be the most feared man in the division, he hasn't finished crushing yet. Thanks for watching, and remember, if you want more fight sports in your life, just hit the subscribe button.